Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time once again for your one-stop shop for all things Age of Sigmar. It's the Andy and Rem show. But, unfortunately, Mr. Rem couldn't be with us this week. So, for our second Age of Sigmar participation game, I'm going to do the big, shocking reveal of who my assistant is for this episode, even though you can probably already see. But, here we go, switching the camera over. Boom!
Yeah, hi, it's me again. Very shocking. I also brought the classic traditional Christmas drink.
Are we sponsored by them?
I think we're sponsored by them now, and if we are not, they should totally contact us and sponsor us and just deliver us cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola can become a platinum member of the Andy and Rem show. So, folks, as you can see on the table before you here, we have an audience participation game of not quite epic proportions, because I think last time we had a few too many units on there and it took a little bit too long, so we've been a little more conservative this time. So, as you can see, we're also on a lovely, luxurious battle mat, which has a very nice kind of mouse mat texture to it. I think I'm going to have to do a full video on this at some point to show everyone how delicious it is, but there's a link in the description for gamemats.eu, which is where this is from. Very soft and luxurious.
From original pressed mice. That's how they make those mats. They just take a lot of mice and just press them into mats.
I actually think that these have little pieces of Sigmarite actually embedded in the mat. And as you can see, this one is supposed to look like some kind of very Sigmar-esque temple, which has a lot of cracks in it. It's quite ancient. So, for the scenario we're going to be playing on this fine evening, the Duardin, as you can see down here, have sent out a little expedition. And unfortunately, you know what they're like. They've mined a little bit too deep. And they've stumbled across this ancient temple. And inside, they've awoken an ancient, gigantic terror, which you can't see the whole of his body right now, so I'll just let you guess what that is. You can only see his legs until he advances a little bit onto the table. But needless to say, them stepping into this temple and spilling their crumbs and beard hairs all over the place and footprints, Sigmar didn't like that one bit. So he has sent down his spirit to send himself directly into this statue. You can only see the legs though, but you just use your imagination for now. And he's dispatched some of his finest Stormcast Eternal warriors down there to defend this area from these ruffians, who are led, in fact, by audience request by Belgar Ironhammer. He was the most requested unit for this side. The audience are going to be commanding the Dwarfs, unless anyone has a particular affinity for the Stormcast and they just want to shout out instructions for them, then we might take that into account as well. But for the most part, you'll be focusing your efforts on the Dwarves. And now I'm going to retrieve a blue Age of Sigmar pointy stick. And I'm going to tell you exactly what we have in the lineup. We're going to say hello to all the audience members in a minute, but I'm just going to point out these units so that if you want to go and look on the Games Workshop website and get some war scrolls handy, so you can see what the units do, so you can be a little bit more informed with your opinions, then you can. So on this side, we have 10 hammerers. Next to them, we have Belgar Ironhammer. We have an organ gun, because no dwarf general should ever leave home without one of those. We have a dragon slayer with a gigantic pair of butt cheeks. We have 10 dwarf warriors armed with hand weapon and shield. And then behind them, we have 5 iron drakes. So it's not a huge dwarf force. So if you want to crack open your dwarf war scrolls, have a look at that. That'd be very handy. And then over on the Stormcast side, we have the Golden Giant, whose legs you can see right now. And for his rules, there's been a couple of alterations from the Giant rules. First of all, because he's made of solid gold, and he's been imbued with Sigmar's power, he has a 4+ save. In addition to that, I suppose I should check what kind of save a Giant's supposed to have, shouldn't I, really, before I say this? Yeah, he's supposed to have 5+, so he has 4+ now, because he's extra shiny. And that extra shine as well means that any enemy unit, he can select one of them with his command ability within 12 inches and they're at -1 to hit. Because he's so shiny, he just angles one of his nipples in their direction and just completely blinds them. Also, in addition to that, because he's so large and inspiring, even just his legs, so inspiring to nearby units, anyone within 6 inches of him, friendly units, do not need to take battle shock tests, because that's just how inspiring he is. So, those are the forces. And of course, the dwarves have a few ranged units, and Stormcast also have one ranged unit over here. They have the Judicators in front of them. They have the Liberators, 6 of them in fact, because there's the extra one that came with White Dwarf, of course. And 3 of these guys as well. I think the official name for them is the Retributors, one of the various Paladin alternates. So, not a huge amount of models per side, but I have a feeling it's going to be quite tasty when they come to blows, probably in the middle of the battlefield, because I can imagine a few members of the audience feverishly typing away saying, "Charge!" particularly with Mr. Big Butts there. Also, it should be pointed out that the Golden Giant isn't drunk, so if he rolls a double, he won't just fall over. So that's another benefit he has over a regular giant. So, with that, let's say hello to our audience and see who's in there. Now, before that, actually, some of the earlier comments did mysteriously vanish, but I think Plastic Sturgeon, once again, was the first comment, so he's got a double platinum membership now. That means he's allowed 1 telescope for each eyeball, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him, actually. I actually read the comments that were there before the show started, but sadly they disappeared and my memory is not that good. So, let's see, who do we have here? We have Benjamin Powell, then we have Drunken_Elf, the classic Drunken Elf, Grimrick, my Beholder buddy, then we have Odu, it's Pezapu, MC1 Gamer, also, Dieter, hi Dieter, how's it going? And Master Duardin once again. Then we have more MC1 Gamer, more Pezapu. Matthias Metzen. I think I haven't read that name before. Maybe I did. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the show. Then we have YouTube Newbie, as always. And Dead Gamer is here. Who else? Let's see. I'm still scrolling. Dead Gamer. Fort Squirrel is here. Hi, Fort Squirrel. I don't think I have read your name before.
It's a great name, though.
Yeah. And last but not least, Stu Gibson, Evening Folds. Hope I didn't miss much. No, you didn't. Just the introduction to the whole scenario. But maybe you didn't because of the stream delay. Who knows? Yes. Miss Gnosis? MS Gnosis? I think it's Miss Gnosis.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
We need some clarification there. Is it Ms. Gnosis? Or is it like one word?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows this?
Right. And I think that's all the peoples. I don't see another name. If I didn't see your name, then just type something in caps and say hello, and I will read your name just randomly in between.
Okay, so first things first, audience. You can see the dwarf deployment here. If you're not satisfied with that deployment and you think some of the units should be repositioned, you should say something now or forever hold your peace.
Yes, Beast Ben 25, go Dwarfs. There I said his name because he wasn't talking before. There we go.
Yeah,
Also what Andy said.
Yep. So if you got any deployment tips for the dwarves, throw them out there now. And I'll give the audience a little bit of information in case they don't want to crack open any war scrolls at the moment. So the most important thing that you'll want to know is Belagar Ironhammer's command ability. That's something that you're going to be using. So what he can do is, in addition to the default command abilities, he can select a unit within 16 inches, and when it comes to the combat phase, they can make 1 extra attack. So that's very, very tasty. So sticking that, for example, on the hammerers would suddenly give them 3 attacks instead of 2. That's who I tend to use it on mostly. So that's the main thing you'll want to keep in mind for this game, that command ability. His other abilities include once per battle he can just decide to attack twice, because he's cool like that, which is actually the same ability that the new Chaos Knights, the Varangard, have. They can do that as well, once per game, so they stole that idea from Belagar Ironhammer, obviously.
Totally stole it.
Yes, and also, his Oath Stone as well. He can stand atop his Oath Stone in hero phase if he wants. If he does that, he can't move, but all the dispossessed units, which is pretty much everyone in this army, I think, yeah, all those units can use his bravery instead of their own when doing battle shock tests. And his bravery is 8, and most of the others are 6 or 7, apart from the Dragon Slayer, which is 10. So that guy wouldn't want to use Belagar's bravery.
8 is great, mate.
Yeah, so if you don't want to move with Belagar, that's a good ability to use. And I think he can just do that. I don't think that's instead of his command ability.
Okay, we have some deployment tactics coming in from Beast Ben. I always want to say Beastman Ben, but it's just Beast Ben. I think move the organ gun slightly further forwards. That's from Beast Ben. Also move the Iron Drakes on the right flank to draw a unit towards them. Also from Beast Ben.
He just wants me to lean all the way across the table, doesn't he? Although this does prove that I'm not going bald at all, though, when I do this, because you can see my beautiful head of hair.
Yeah. Maybe next time you could like dangle your camera on a different angle so it's actually over your shoulder or something. That might make it easier.
It might. So there they are. The organ gun has moved up a tiny bit, like he suggested, about 1 inch. Iron Drake's out there on the right. And if everyone is satisfied with that, then we may begin, I suppose. So first things first, I suppose I should tell everyone that there isn't really any particular terrain on this setup, because I don't think any of my terrain really does this battle map justice at the moment. I'm hoping to get some of the official Age of Sigmar terrain very soon. I've asked from various family members for that for Christmas. So I'm hoping to have at least 2 pieces of terrain to put on here very soon. So we should probably find out who is going to get the first turn, shouldn't we?
We totally should.
So I have lots of orange dice down here. These are actually Dice Bag Lady orange dice, which apparently roll more 6s than any other dice.
We need to do that dice test proper with the salt water, not like Rem, who really didn't manage to do it correctly, I think.
Yeah, and by the way, before we start, anyone who's been itching to hear all the latest Age of Sigmar news, as far as I can tell this week, there hasn't been any.
Yes.
I haven't seen any leaked pictures or anything, so it's been really slow, so we picked the perfect time to do this game.
Indeed.
So I'm going to roll a dice to see who's going first. So I'll roll for the Stormcast first, and they get 3. And the Dwarfs get a 5. It's very satisfying sound these dice make as they roll across this lovely soft mat.
I like it. They really roll too, not like on like normal tables where you have like static grass. Static grass actually okay, but I have a gaming mat that is really rough and has like little stones on it and a lot of sand and stuff. So dice actually sometimes just land on one of the corners and just stand up on them. It's really annoying.
Okay, so the Dwarfs are going to be going first. So we're going to need some instructions first of all. Now I'm assuming Belagar, I don't suppose he really needs to use this command ability yet, but he could do if he feels like it. So if you'd like to use Belagar's command ability on anyone, let us know. And also, let's start thinking about who you want to move with. If you want anyone to move, that would be handy. So let us know.
Okay. We have from Drunken_Elf, take first run, unload organ gun at closest units, leave the rest. That is what he typed.
Okay, and actually, I just remembered that I have to collect the Litco tokens, which are on the other side of the room, so I'll set off momentarily.
Just get them. Right.
So 1 second.
Right, and he is getting his tokens. And yeah, as far as I can see, that gaming mat is really cool. Like, I actually want to get one myself. The tokens, look at them.
Look at all these delicious tokens. That is a lot of Litco tokens, including the beautiful turn sequence combat gauge, which I'll find very handy if I ever forget the turn sequence throughout this game.
It is, even though you can't hang it around your neck to impress the, I don't know who you want to impress with that, but
No, you certainly can't hang that around your neck in case you want to, when you're out and about on the town and you want to impress all the ladies and let them know that you're an Age of Sigmar player.
yes.
Which of course you do, because they want to know that the man they're choosing is kind of forward thinking and isn't stuck back in 8th edition.
Oh, we have another tactic input from Das Plagueis 101. Run the Slayer up. That's a classic move.
I was kind of expecting that. So I'll do that first of all then. So the Slayer has a movement of 4 inches.
While Andy does that, one thing, if you have inputs like on tactics, how units should move or anything, please type them in caps. Normally typing in caps is really bad and you shouldn't do it, but in this case, type all your tactic stuff in caps so it clearly sticks out for me between all the other chatter in the chat. That would be awesome.
Yeah, if you're just making general comments, just do it in regular style. So you can use the occasional capital letter, but only where appropriate. So the Slayer has moved, and now we're going to run him because that was the instruction. So another 4 inches.
Oh, that's quite all right.
So he's getting right up there with his exposed butt cheeks. Did they tell us that anyone else wants to move?
So far not. Pess says kill the Stormcast in caps, which is quite the tactical input right here. Quite the deep tactic.
I'm going to see what's going to be in range to see if anyone wants to move. So the Organ Gun is going to be out of range at the moment.
Yeah.
And the Iron Drakes will be as well because they have a shorter range. So if anyone else wants to move a unit forward, make yourself heard now.
Alright.
Or if you just want to run the Slayer out there on his own and hang everything else back.
YouTube Newbie says wheel left. I don't know what he wants to have wheeled left, but Drunken_elf measure range to Stormcast units.
Yeah, we just got that in there. So they're not going to be able to shoot this turn.
Right, then from Beastband 25, move the organ gun forward. And also from Drunken_elf is the same. So. Also,
Okay.
Das Plagueis, please write in caps if you want to have your tactics like brought into the game. Pretty much. Your movement advice, whatever, so I can see it.
Now, as far as I'm aware, War Machines, I don't think there's a rule that states that they can't move and fire anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. Beastband just said you can shoot after you move.
Yeah. So let's move that forward so it's in range of those Liberators. And the range was 28 inches. So it needs to get to there, which is well within its move of 4 inches. So they're moving the organ gun up, and they're going to unload.
Yes.
But we've got any other movement? We've got Belagar and these other close combat units, or the Iron Drakes, perhaps? Anyone want to move those?
Speak up now. We will wait for the bit of delay to catch up. Pezapu says fire everything. Well, okay.
That's some deep, deep tactical insight from the maestro himself, Mr. Pezapu.
He also tells us to use the force.
No, we're not going to be using the force. It's not quite time for anyone to be using the force yet.
Yes, not even in caps. Like, we can't do it.
Any more movement?
Any more movement, guys? Or should they just stay behind and just wait for the Stormcast to approach them, maybe? That would be alright. Yeah, Drunken_elf says, nah, shoot them first. Then wipe up remains.
Right, so the important question now, how many barrels does the organ gun want to fire with? Because you could fire with all 4, but there's a chance it just won't be able to fire then.
Oh, we actually have a move order from Dieter. Move up the infantry to flank the organ gun. Clear move order right there.
Okay, so yeah, I think what he wants to do is just move them up so they're kind of in line with it, so it's not further forward than everybody else.
Yes.
That sounds reasonable. So let's get one up there, and while I'm doing that, if anyone would like to tell us how many organ gun barrels we should be firing.
Yes, organ gun barrels firing, just type a number right now. Just a number.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yes. I think Pezepu can travel through time because he typed a 2 before we even asked for the number.
It's safe, most people just type 4 repeatedly with loads of exclamation points at the end.
We have 3, we have 4. I will count the 2 from Pezepu, so far we have 2, 3, 4. We have all of them. We have 3 again, so there's 2 voices for 3 so far.
We need more than that.
Again, I think most people actually want 3 barrels right now, as far as I can see. Unless they're just tricking me again and just putting double comments in there, because I can't pay attention to all the names.
Okay, so let's go with 3 barrels then. That seems to be the average that people want.
Yes,
So on a 3+, it can fire. Here we go. And it's a 2.
Womp, womp, womp.
So it ain't going to be firing this turn.
No, you should have listened to Pezepu, guys, really. He
Yeah,
knew it before anyone.
He's proving himself to be quite the tactical master while everyone else is just fumbling around. They have no idea what to do.
Maybe he used the Force, that's why.
Maybe he did. So, I believe that's going to be it for the Dwarfs for this turn. So it's going to be over to the Stormcast. And I'm going to just move them all up a bit.
Alright. Pez is confused because he doesn't know what we're talking about. Pez, you typed a 2, at some point, just a 2, the number 2 in chat. And that was really shortly before we asked how many barrels the organ gun should shoot.
Is he not standing by his tactical mastery? He's saying he didn't know what he was talking about.
Maybe he just broke the illusion.
Right, let's run these liberators. Oh, another 5. They're getting up there. These Stormcast aren't hanging around, they're really getting there. Because these Duardin scum are just trampling all over their sacred temple. Dirtying it. And we're going to move up the Retributors, who only have a movement of 4, because they're...
Retributors.
Retributors, as our American friends might call them. So movement of 4 for them, and we're going to run them as well. So let's see how far. Ooh, 6.
And they're quick.
Yeah, we can't even use the combat gauge for that. That's too long a distance.
Yeah, they have their quick boots on.
10 inches, despite the giant hammers. Up they go. So they're keeping pace despite those gigantic hammers. And the giant... Now, the giant has a movement dependent on his remaining wounds. So he hasn't taken any damage yet, so he has a movement of 8. And I think he should run as well, because he's very big and he wants to get stuck in there.
Yes.
There's a 3, so he can go 11. So you can probably see him properly now. So you can see how big and juicy he is. Now, the Judicators, I've got the handy dandy Age of Sigmar app open here with all the rules for the Judicators.
That's handy.
So they have a movement of 5 because they're not slow, and their range is 24 inches. So we might be able to get them up into range. Let's find out. So if they move up 5, that'll then be 29 inches. So they will be able to get in range to shoot the Slayer, but nobody else. So I think they're going to do that. I know it's a bit mean, but if he's going to be charging out there on his own, he's got to expect it, really, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So up they go.
Classic Slayer.
Right, let's see what these bad boys can do then, shall we? So they have 1 shot each, because they have the bows rather than the crossbows. So we're going to fire the 4 normal guys first, and then we'll do the shock bolt bow separately because it's extra juicy.
It's quite shocking.
Yes, it is. So the special for that is that if it scores a hit, then instead of making one wound roll, it can do a number of wounds equal to the... Hold on. No, I just read that wrong. If it scores a hit and the bolt explodes into a storm of lightning, instead of making a single wound roll, roll a dice and make a number of wound rolls equal to the number scored. Yeah, so it's just d6. It's really needlessly fancy way of saying it does d6 wounds, basically.
Yes.
If it scores a hit. And that is on the prime as well, so he has a better to hit score than the rest of them. It's a very sneaky move putting it on the prime, and there was some debate over whether it was allowed until there was actually an official GW picture of a prime with a ranged weapon.
Oh yeah.
That confirmed it was okay. So let's go with the 4 normal ones first. So to hit, they are 3+. To wound, they are 3+. Here we go. Oh, only 2 of them hit. And to wound, one of them wounds. So he's going to take 1 wound if he fails his save, which he automatically does because he only has 6+ and it has a rend of -1. So we're going to get one of these fancy schmancy Litco wound turny little tokens. If you can see there. I don't know if you'll be able to actually see how many wounds are there on the battlefield, but I'll know.
I don't think it's possible to make that out, but we know.
Yeah, so he's down to 4. And now the shock bow bolt is going to fire. So because he is the prime, and he is just extra fancy, he has 1 better to hit, I believe. I'm just going to confirm that by checking in here. Just to make sure I didn't invent that part. Yeah, there we go. Add 1 to the hit rolls for Adjudicator Prime. Making sure I'm not cheating here with the whole world watching. So he's going to hit on a 2. Here we go.
But he fails.
It's a 6, so he hits. And let's see how many wound rolls it does now. Because it's fancy like that. Explodes into a hail of lightning into poor Mr. Slayer's butt cheeks.
Ooh.
It's a 6. That is not looking good for him.
Nope.
So 6 wound rolls coming up, 3+. He could just die here. He could become a pincushion with lightning bolts firing out of his cheeks.
Yeah, it's very possible right now. And
he loses 3 more wounds.
So lucky.
He just survives. He's got 1 wound left.
So lucky, little Slayer. Maybe he can actually make his charge, and maybe not.
Yeah,
it looks quite far.
If the dwarves get to go next, then he might.
Yeah.
So that is going to be it for the Stormcast turn 1, because there's nothing else they can do. No other ranged attacks. So we're going to be moving on to turn 2 now. And I'm feeling turn 2 could be where it gets extra juicy. So we're going to roll to see who gets to go first in this turn now.
Yes.
So I'll roll for the Stormcast first, because they're gold. 5.
Alright.
And the Dwarfs, the Duardin, 3. So it's going to be the Stormcast going first.
Alright.
Dun dun dun. So I don't think it's going to be too complicated. I think the Liberators are probably going to charge that guy.
Yeah, I think that Slayer is toast.
I think he is as well, actually.
Do you want to charge straight away, like nothing else, before you do that in your normal movement phase, or?
Yeah, because I think he's out of range to use his command ability to blind somebody. Yeah.
Alright. So
they're moving up. And they're not going to run because they want to charge. These guys are going to move up towards the hammers and have a battle of the hammers. Ultimate hammer time over there. And then they're going to run as well. So 3 more inches. So they're going off that way. And the Adjudicators are going to move. They're 5 inches up so they can shoot at something else, hopefully. Because they don't need to shoot him because he's going to get killed. He's going to get whooped. So up they go. And with their 24-inch range, they should be able to reach somebody. Let's see. Yep, so I think Ooh, they could have a shootout with the Iron Drakes.
Could they even reach the organ gun?
I don't... not all of them.
Might not be worth it then.
So, I think, just so everyone can definitely shoot, they're going to go for the Dwarf Warriors. Right then, so here we go. The 4 normal ones first.
Also, Oliver Charles, welcome.
Oh, yeah, I need to move the giant as well. There he goes. He's just going to sit there.
And you only get to control the dwarfs, not the Sigmarites. They actually got confused in the last hangout game we had, and actually let you control one undead unit in the undead turn, even though you were not supposed to be. That was a mistake.
Okay, so 3 hits on the Dwarf Warriors. 2 wounds inflicted, and the Dwarf Warriors have a save of 5+, which is lowered to 6.
Oh my.
Because I'm going to look into their shields just to make sure. Because when, instead of running or charging in its turn, if it doesn't, then reroll all failed save rolls for the unit in the combat phase. Yeah, that's right. So it doesn't come into effect from shooting. So they're going to have 2 6+ saves here. Let's see if they can make them.
Maybe they are lucky.
Nope. So that's 2 dead, and then we've got the prime with the shockbow bolt. That hits on a 2, and then let's see how many wound rolls it's going to make. Explodes into lightning, 6 again.
Holy crap again. That guy.
Yeah, that guy's doing some serious work here. Let's see how many wounds he can score.
He drank his bullseye juice.
4 wounds inflicted. Let's have some more 6+ saves for these dwarves, but they're going down. Oh dear. Right, so that's a lot of dead dwarves, so they're going to need some battle shock at some point.
Yes.
So the Liberators charging into the Slayer. Here they go. 5 inches, I don't think that's going to be enough actually. Nope.
Wop wop. He might live. After all, he might live.
So, dwarves go.
Dwarves
battle
go.
shock, battle shock. So, they lost 6 models. So, this could be really bad for them. Here we go. Yeah, that's very, very bad actually.
That's quite bad.
Yeah, 6 plus their bravery plus the 6 casualties, that's 12. Their bravery is 6. So that means 6 more will run away and there's only 4 left. So all the dwarf warriors are dead immediately.
Pezapu wants me to say, "Come on, kill me! I am here!
Do it now!
Do it now!" That's what the Slayer says right now.
Well, that didn't go very well for the dwarves, did it? The dwarf warriors dead immediately.
Yeah, well, audience, it's all on you now to turn it around with the dwarfs going right now.
Yep, we need some instructions. So you're probably going to want to use Belagar's command ability here to give a unit an extra attack with each of its close combat weapons, and all these units only have 1. So,
right.
Yeah, and Belagar's probably going to want to help out in that fight as well. The Slayer's going to want to move, I imagine.
We have kill those Judicators. We have full charge. So far, move up those Iron Drakes. And yeah, move up the Iron Drakes. And I guess the rest should also move as close as possible.
Well,
because the audience wants them to charge, apparently.
Now, the Iron Drakes have a range of 16 inches. So if they don't move, they are mostly out of range. So yeah, they are going to have to move. But who do you want the various units to move towards, and where do you want the command ability to go to give one of the units an extra attack?
Yes, give us a bit more specification on that.
Yes.
Right now. Drop O-Stone, move up. Iron Drakes don't charge. from Drunken_Elf.
Oh, so he doesn't want to charge.
He doesn't want to charge the Iron Drakes, at least. He just wants them to move up and possibly shoot, I guess. Give command to Hammerers from Beastman.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's do that. And because that's a special ability, there's obviously no token for that. So we're going to use one of these handy-dandy customizable Litco tokens and write on it with this even more handy-dandy pen. So
fancy.
That command ability is called Oath of Vengeance. So I'll just put Oov on it and put that next to the Hammerers so we remember that they got that.
Right. We have Leave Belga in reserve. Whatever that might mean right now. Maybe just leave him behind the battle line or something. And not make him run towards anything, I guess.
Well, they wanted the Iron Drakes to move up, didn't they? So if we move them up to here, they're only 4 inches to there, then they will have a choice of some potential targets.
Right. I guess the Hammers should move up against the other Hammer guys. Does Plagueis wants it?
Right, up they go. 4 inches.
We have 2 votes against leaving Belga behind the battle line, so I guess that's also him moving up then.
Okay, up he goes. And the Slayer, I suppose he just wants to get stuck in there as well. He might as well move up. He can't go within 3 inches though, so there he is.
Right. Beastman Ben. I always say Beastman Ben. It's just Beastman says move Belga and Hammers towards Liberators to charge together with the Dragon Slayer.
Right, so he wants to just completely munch through the Liberators by the sound of it.
I guess, yeah, piling up against them with all possible might sounds like a good idea, actually. What else do we have?
So I'm going to, while we're getting any more instructions, I'm going to check to see what the Iron Drake's going to be in range of at the moment. So if they want to shoot, they can shoot the Liberators, and that's it.
Right. We have Organ Gun into Bow Dudes and all fire on Liberators. And don't forget Troll Hammer Torpedoes.
Yes.
I guess I want focus fire on the Liberators, as far as I can see it. The Liberators are the Bow Dudes, right?
No, the Bow Dudes are the Judicators. The Liberators have the shields.
Okay.
So he wants to shoot the Organ Gun at the Judicators and the Iron Drakes at the Liberators.
Yeah, the Organ Gun into the Bow Dudes and the rest into the Liberators. So far.
So, any other instructions there? Also, how many Organ Gun barrels again?
Yes, let's get in those numbers for the barrels right now.
It's quite critical.
Yeah, people are arguing over the targets for the different shooting units right now, but I just went with what came up first right now, I think, mostly.
What are some of the arguments that are going on? Let's hear it.
Let's see. Drunken_Elf says no Judicators are lesser. What? No Judicators smaller than Troll Hammer Torpedoes plus Organ. Okay. 100 barrels.
So he wants the Trollhammer Torpedo to shoot at the Judicators because it's got a longer range, but he wants the rest of them to shoot at the Liberators.
I guess, yeah. I guess that could be correct.
Okay.
Also 3 barrels.
Okay.
Both of them want 3 barrels.
Well, let's go with the Organ Gun first then. So 3+ for it to shoot.
Let's see.
It's a 4.
So
it's going to shoot. So 3d6 shots. There we go. That's quite good. That's going to be 11 shots.
Oh.
So we're going to have to get out one of the small dice as well.
It's a lot of shots.
It is. So, because it still has 3 crewmen left, it's going to hit on a 3+. So this is into the adjudicators, isn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
So here we go. 3+ to hit, and then 3+ to wound with the old organ gun. That's only 3 missed.
That looks good.
And 3 to wound. So that's going to be 4 wounds.
Right.
I'm just going to crack open the old war scroll for you guys. So they have a save of 4+. The organ gun has a rend of -1. So they're going to be at 5+ saves. They have 2 wounds each. So here they go.
Oh, 2
2
made.
made, so 2. So that's 1 dead. So he's dead. Then we've got the Trollhammer Torpedo, which is also shooting at them, as per the audience instructions. So that hits on a 3, wounds on a 3. Here we go.
Let's
Hits.
see. Yeah, it hits.
Wounds. It's got a rend of -2, so it's going to be a 6+. So, oh, but it does D3 damage.
Ooh.
So I always forget whether you're supposed to roll that before or after the save.
I think it's after the save, because when it gets saved, all the damage is negated.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yes.
So it saves.
Well, too bad.
Too bad. Well, we've got the 4 regular Drake guns now firing at the Liberators.
Yes.
So here we go. So they hit on a 3, wound on a 3 as well. 1 missed. 1 failed, so that's 2 wounds. So, and it's got a rend of -1, so the Liberators are on 5+ saves. If they fail both of them, then one of them will die.
Yeah.
I'm sure they make a slightly more heroic sound than that. It'd be like, oh, and then as it gets summoned up into the celestial realm again.
They might just cough slightly and then fall over.
They could do. You're like, boom.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be all the shooting there.
That was all the shooting.
So we need some charges. Did anyone have any instructions other than charge everything into the Liberators?
Some people wanted the Hammer Dwarfs against the Hammer Sigmarites.
Well, I suppose they can decide based on how high they roll, can't they?
I guess, yeah. That's true.
So I think it's pretty obvious that the Slayer is going to go into the Liberators since they're right there.
Right.
And Belagar as well. So let's roll for them first, while people are deciding what to do with the hammers, if they roll high enough to get a choice.
Yes.
The Slayer, first of all, he gets an 11, so of course he's in.
Okay, we have 3 voices for charging everything into the Liberators right now. I think that's quite clear.
Then Belagar, he gets 8. Ooh, is that going to be enough?
It's 8 made.
He is just out.
Wow.
Wow.
Don't you just need to be in half an inch around it? Is he even still out?
Let me just check actually.
Because there was that rule with a half inch in Age of Sigmar. As far as I remember.
That is really, really close to half inch.
Just roll a d6. On 1, 2, 3 he doesn't. On 4, 5, 6 he does.
I'm going to say that that's slightly less than half an inch, so he is in then, in that case.
All right.
Okay, so there he is, just like so. Then we've got the hammerers. Let's see if they can roll a high number to give people a choice. 7, so I don't think they're going to be in.
Yes. See, guys, that half an inch can make a difference.
Nope, they are not. So, oh dear, the hammerers are not in. Yet half an inch can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, sometimes.
So, now we've got a decision to make, audience. Do you want to attack with the Slayer first before he dies, or do you want to attack with Belagar first? And also, Will Belagar be using his ability to attack twice, or is he going to save that for something beefier?
Yes. Type Slayer or Belagar.
Yes, who's going to attack first?
And also if Belagar, then if he should use a thing. We have one for use Belagar's special ability, but not if he should attack first.
Although Belagar does decide whether he can attack twice after he's attacked, so I suppose we can wait and see how that goes.
Right. We have one for Belagar, one for Slayer, so we have 2 for Slayer. And I think that's a Slayer first, actually.
Yeah, I think people should be thinking Slayer here because he's down to his last wound.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the obvious move to do.
Okay,
Because
so he has
wasted
2 Slayer X's, so he has 6 attacks. He hits on a 3, wounds on a 3, and has a rend of -1. So here we go. Oh, 3 misses. That's not good.
Nope.
Dun, dun, dun. 2 wounds. So rend of -1, so the Liberator's down for 5 plus save.
Alright. Can't he like re-roll against multi-wound units or something like that? Because Slayer.
I think they have to have more wounds than that. Let me just check.
Maybe.
Oh no, you can add 1 to any wound rolls if the target has more than 1 wound.
See? I remembered correctly. Even though I never used him.
So technically, one of those would have wounded as well, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So let's roll that save as well. So one of them is dead. Boom.
Slowly dwindling away the Sigmarites.
Right, the Liberators are going to fight you now. So,
Yes.
okay. So one of them is going to attack the Slayer to try and finish him off with 2 attacks. Hit on a 4, wound on a 3. 2 hits.
Alright.
1 wound with no rend, so he gets his 6 plus save, or will he die?
Oh my. Wow, my voice. Oh, he lives. Holy crap.
Slayer lives. That could be big. Then we've got the other 3 of them with 2 attacks each. And let me see what the Liberator Prime. He can make a 3rd attack because he's Prime, so he's extra juicy. So they're also going to hit on 4, wound on 3 on Belagar. Oh, that's a lot of misses. Only 1 hits.
And it's a 3.
Yep, so it does wound. Now, did I roll any 1s when I was doing their armor saves?
Oh god, that is a good question.
Because
I
they
don't
can re-roll
remember.
1s.
Did anyone see that they rolled 1s? I think everyone is against the Sigmarites anyway, so they wouldn't tell us.
Let's just assume that they didn't for the moment, and we'll remember that for next time. So Belagar's got 1 save to make with no rend, and he has a 3 plus save. He's fine. Okay, Belagar gets to attack now, so he has 4 attacks, not as many as the Slayer. Hit on a 3, wound on a 3. There we go. He also does D3 damage as well, so that's nice. Actually, the Slayer got 2 wounds through, didn't he? He does D3 damage with the because he's got the other axes. Yeah,
okay.
So I was correct in the first place.
Okay. All right.
Belagar, here we go. All of them hit.
Very nice. That would have been like 2 hits in relics.
Yep. 3 plus again. All of them wound. A rend of -1. It's going to do D3 damage for each fail as well. So they're on a 5-up save because of that rend. And they only fail 1 of them.
Yes.
But it's going to do D3 damage.
Also, yes, this is just like mini wargaming.
Yes, just like mini wargaming, except more professional.
There was more to that sentence, but I won't read that out.
Okay, so one of them has lost a wound.
All right.
And does Belagar, does Bellegar want to attack again, audience? Since he only got 1 wound through, does he want to use his once per game ability to attack again, or does he want to save it?
I think now is the time, is it? Like, tell us, people, should he use his ability or not to attack again? That would be extra juicy. Also, I'm quite chuffed that the Slayer made his butt cheek save. That's quite funny.
Yeah, he's so close to death this whole game.
He just caught one of their weapons between his cheeks and saved his butt with it.
I imagine his butt is so muscular, though. They probably... one of those hammers probably kind of... They swung it and it got like lodged between his cheeks and then he like clenched. Because his butt cheeks are so firm, because he works out so much as a Slayer, he just kind of grips it with his butt cheeks and then spins round and the Liberator just goes flying, holding onto the hammer.
Yeah. Also, everyone says uses ability next round, not this one.
Okay, they want to save it.
Yes.
Okay, so I believe we are going to be going on to turn 3 then, aren't we?
Turn 3 initiative.
I think that's right, isn't it? Because the Stormcast went first and turn 2, didn't they?
Yeah, that's true.
So, and the battle shock, I don't think there is any because are those guys within 6 inches of the... No, they're not, so they are going to need a battle shock test because they lost a man.
Oh my.
But I don't know whether they can actually fail. I'll see exactly what their bravery is. Their bravery is 6, so if I roll a 6 on the dice, then 1 more will run away because they've taken 1 casualty. So, here we go. No.
Oh.
So, none of them run away, so I'll scoop all these guys to the back so you can't see those dead bodies because they've been summoned back up to Sigmar in the Celestial Realm.
Yes, teleported up.
And now we're going to roll who's going first in turn 3. So, Stormcast first. 4. And the Dwarves. 5.
Oh, very good.
The Dwarves have got the first crack at turn 3. So, let's hear it. What do you want to do with that command ability? Do you want to stick it on the hammers again? And then what kind of movement do you want to do? Let's hear it, people.
Tell us the command ability first.
Yep. Command ability and movement is the main things here. Is anyone talking about things unrelated to the game and filling up the comments box?
It's not too bad, actually.
I'm looking at you, Pezapoo.
We have Go Dwarfs is on hammers. We have on hammers by Beastben. Beastben is quite the active general right now, together with other people, with Drunken_Elf and Oliver Charles.
While waiting for those instructions, while waiting for the movement instructions as well to come in, I'm going to tell everyone now. I'll tell you at the end as well. But next week we are having a Christmas special on the Andy and Rem show, which is going to have upwards of 5 guests who are going to drop in alternately and share some festive wargaming stories and wish everyone the best for the festive season, and maybe we can persuade each of them to sing a little Christmas song. We don't know about that yet.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm also going to prepare some special Andy and Rem themed Christmas carols for everybody as well. So that's going to be a treat.
That will be nice, yeah. Let's see. We have command on hammers. On hammers, they are quite unified on that. Then hammer move up, shooters toward judicators. Hammer move up.
Okay,
okay.
So up there you go.
Hammers towards liberators.
Go towards liberators. So
I think that were 2 different thingies.
So do you want the hammers to go towards the liberators?
I'm just trying to see in which direction it will swing.
So they have to be that far away, so they can move to there. And if they roll high enough on their charge, they'll be able to choose who they want to charge at. So we'll come to that.
We have 1 voice for retreat Bellegar and get support from the dwarf warriors on the left. Then leave the Slayer to delay the Sigmar rites. And Beastben is already in the shooting phase. He wants to shoot the Retributor, but we're still moving, aren't we? Right now.
Yes.
Yes.
But if he wants to shoot the Retributors with the organ gun, then I suppose the hammers don't have to move out of the way because the Retributors are quite tall. So I think with the power of crouching down, I think, yeah, it can see them.
Das Plagueis has no the other way. But we need more specific information, I think.
Yes. Do the Iron Drakes want to move up, or do they just want to shoot at something in this area?
Yes, Iron Drakes moving or not.
Remember, if they don't move, they can fire twice.
Oh yeah, that is a big plus. So should they stay in position and fire twice?
Yes. The Trollhammer Torpedo can't, though, so we'll need to know who to fire that at.
Yeah.
So, is everyone happy for the Slayer and Belagar to stay in combat? I know one person said move him away, but that sounds like a crazy person.
Yeah, we had no voices against moving him away, I think, but they want the Slayer to stay in there. Do not move the Iron Drakes. Okay, Iron Drakes will stay put. Yeah, we have 2 voices for that. That's all right. But we still don't have any voices against retreating with Belagar. Just funny.
So if anyone desperately wants to stop Belagar retreating from combat, then say so quickly.
Emperor Gaming UK says, "Hey guys, Paul from Emperor Gaming. Thought I would say hi. PS, go Dwarfs." Hi, Emperor Gaming. Welcome to the Andy and Rem show. Hope you enjoy it.
Yes, the Remless Andy and Rem show tonight.
Yes.
With 100% extra Dready.
Also, we have a voice against moving him away. And yeah, we have 2 voices. No, that's actually Beastban twice. No, we have 2
Beastban, you're so
voices.
sneaky.
Yeah, but we actually have 2 legit voices against it, so he will stay in it. Belagar will stay put in the combat.
Okay.
All right.
Right, I think it's time to shoot then, isn't it?
Yes.
So we've got the organ gun and the Iron Drakes. The Iron Drakes, their targets are, with their 16-inch range, let me see. Okay, so they can shoot at the Liberators still, and I don't think all of them could reach this big guy. Some of them could. So we have to decide what to do with the Trollhammer Torpedo as well. And that guy on the end wouldn't be able to shoot at him, but he could shoot at the Liberators. And I think they're all out of range of them apart from the Trollhammer Torpedo, so he could shoot them if he wants. And the organ gun can shoot at virtually anything because it can see everything. It can see over the hammerers' heads. So any unit the organ gun wants to shoot at, it can.
Right. Let's see. Level 1 close combat thing. Make sure the warriors shields, I think, Belagar from the darn hammer dudes. I'm still waiting for shooting instructions though.
The darn hammer dudes.
The darn hammer dudes.
Yeah.
Stu Gibson missed the start. Is the giant the Stormcast general? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes, he is. He is quite the leader person right now. Okay, we have Troll on Judicators, Organ on Giants. Then we have 1 voice for Organ Gun at Judicators. Shoot at Liberators twice with Iron Drakes. Shoot Organ Gun at Retributors. Oh man, that's quite the...
So the one thing that's for certain is that the Iron Drakes are going to fire twice at the Liberators because that's the only thing that's in range. So
yes.
While people are voting what to do with the organ gun and the Trollhammer Torpedo, let's do those guys first. Yes. So we've got 4 of them with 2 shots each. So that's going to be 8 shots. And they'll be hitting on 3, wounding on 3 at the Liberators. 2 missed. And that's 4 damage done. So let's see if the Liberators can make their 5+ save with that rend on there. That's 3 damage. That's going to be, one's already taken a wound, so he's dead, and another one as well.
Very
so
nice.
Let's just get rid of those 2.
Very nice.
So,
So, I'm just
corpse
scanning
pile.
the comments for the Trollhammer torpedo now, what he should do. We have one for Trollhammer on Judicators. I think the Trollhammer is just shooting at the, what did I say, at the Judicators, I think. Did I say that earlier?
Okay, let's do that then. 3
Alright.
plus, 3 plus. Hits. Wounds. And the save of the Judicators is down to a 5 plus now.
Oh, let's see.
6 plus because of the Trollhammerness.
Right.
So they fail. They're going to take
And?
D3 wounds. 3.
Ooh, that's
So,
good.
1 dead and a wound done on somebody else.
Right.
So we've got the organ gun to go.
The organ gun. Let me quickly see. We have one for Giant. We have one for Judicators. We have one at Retributor, so that's 3 different ones now. We have Rest on Giant and Liberators. 1, 2 into the guys that the Slayer is in combat with. This is quite indecisive right now.
Well, let's go through it tactically here, because shooting at the Judicators would mean that you're taking out the shooting threat. Shooting at the Giant could knock it down a couple of thresholds, so it's less potent when it gets into combat soon. Killing the Liberators would mean that Belagar and the Slayer could then charge into somebody else in the combat phase.
Right.
And
That's what
shooting
I
at these guys are a bit of an untouched threat over here. And I think they have 3 wounds each, actually, those guys. Yes, they do. So they're quite a threat. So all the units, there's a plus and a minus to shooting at everything.
It certainly is. Let's see. I think, as far as I have seen, there might be equal people wanting to shoot the Giant and shooting the unit that the Slayer is in combat with right now. A few person want to shoot the Hammer dudes. It's really not quite clear right now.
Well, everyone just get those comments in there quick and make it more decisive.
Yes, just type one word. Just type the unit you want to shoot at, nothing else. Just the unit.
Yeah, and then we'll go, like, the first 5 or 6 responses, we'll just tally those and go by that.
Yes, because that will make it easier.
Anything off topic going on in the comments while we're waiting for that?
Not much. There was a bit of talk earlier, but it's just a bit. People talking about Age of Sigmar and how they like it or don't. Just.
I've noticed that Mr. Pezapoo, I saw on Facebook that his Archaean is coming along nicely. So when he's got that done, and Archaean and the Pezza Chosen of Chaos, then he's going to be probably bringing those here for a game, I imagine.
Oh, that would be neat. Also, the torpedo fired already. We have it fired. So we have big hammers. We have retributors. We have hammers. We have hammers. And we have liberators. So there's 3 voices. Let's make sure it's 3 different voices. It's 3 different voices to shoot at the hammer guys.
Okay, so we need to know how many barrels now. Now, they went for 3 the last 2 times, didn't they?
Yeah, they mostly said 3.
So are we going to fire the 3 barrels again, people?
Yes. I think that's just...
I think people just generally want to go with 3 barrels all the time, unless you've got an engineer there who needs to go with 4 because you get a reroll.
That's true.
So it's safe. So 3 is just on average most of the time you should get it. So that's what people tend to go with. So unless anyone says otherwise, we're going to go with that.
Everyone says 3. Everyone through the bank says 3.
All right, here we go. And it's a 2.
Womp womp.
So you failed, people, so the organ gun can't shoot.
Yeah, so all that malarkey about who you're going to shoot at was all for nothing.
Yeah, total waste of time.
But I personally wouldn't have shot at the hammer guys, so I'm I'm okay with that.
I believe we need some charge targets now. Well, a target at least. So let's just see if we can roll high enough to give them multiple choices first of all for the hammers. There we go. 6 inches.
That could just barely.
Okay, that is going to be enough to get to the Retributors if you want to charge them.
Okay.
Or let's see if that's enough to get to anyone else. Yes, you could go for the Liberators if you want.
Yes.
But not the Giant.
Type Retributors or Liberators in chat for the charge decision right now. So we know where they will go in.
I have a feeling they're going to say Retributors because that's going to be a nice hammer fight, I think.
Right.
Battle of the big juicy hammers.
We have 2 voices for Retributors. And I also think Pezapu is more than a closet Sigma worshipper at this point. I think he's quite open with it. We have a lot of voices for Retributors. Yeah,
Right.
3 voices should be enough.
In they go. Plug. So what we need to know now that we're into the combat phase, which unit's going to attack first? Is it going to be the hammerers to get attacks in before they get hit back? Or is it going to be the Slayer before he gets killed, potentially? Or is it going to be Belagar?
Yes, Slayers, Belagar, or Hammerers. Decide now. Also, hi and Evans to the show. Welcome.
Yeah, I did read a comment from him and he said he's not that big of an Age of Sigmar fan, but he does enjoy the show, so hopefully this audience participation game, seeing it in action, will persuade him over to see the guiding light of Sigmar shining in through his window.
Yeah. I especially like how quick the game can be. You can just have quick lunch break games with Age of Sigmar, and it totally works.
I think this is a good amount of units per side for a little Age of Sigmar game because it's really quick.
Yeah, it will also go way quicker when you are just 2 people on a table and not having to source through comments. Everyone says hammers pretty much. So
right, let's go for that then. Now this is going to be a lot of dice.
Yeah.
Because there are 10 of them. So there's the 10 dice, first of all, but we need another 10 because they have 2 attacks each, first of all. Then the champion, or whatever he's called, the keeper of the gate, he gets an extra attack. Then we have another 10 because they've got the ability from Belagar on them, giving them an extra close combat attack.
Yes.
So there we go.
Quite a lot of dice. Also, if people are wondering why people are typing in caps right now, it's because I ask for it for the participation in the game. You type in caps if you want to get your voice, to make your voice heard, pretty much.
Yeah, so it doesn't just get lost in all the conversation that
it's not a normal thing. Yeah, don't do it on other shows, but it's allowed in the participation games for the sake of simplicity.
Just so we can see the orders. So here we go with this large amount of dice for the hammerers attacking. So if they hit on a 3, wound on a 3, and they have -1 rend. So here we go.
Is it hammerlicious?
It is actually.
Will they be giving them a hemorrhage?
As long as they don't get hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoid sounds quite terrible, to be honest.
I think it would be terrible. So quite a lot of hits have got through there. Then we're wounded on 3 as well.
All right.
So that's quite a lot. So all those wounds, they've got -1 rend, so the Retributors are down to a 5+ save now. Here we go.
Oh, they got smashed.
So there's 3 that have made it. There's 1 dead, 2 dead, 3 dead.
Yeah.
3 and a bit dead, so they're all dead.
They got hammered.
Super dead.
Super dead indeed. They just evaporated into a fine golden red mist, I think.
With my second Age of Sigmar box, I was deciding whether or not to paint up another batch of Retributors. And looking at that, I'm thinking, I think they probably need more than 3 when they come up against something like that.
Yeah, they should be a bit more buffed up. Like 3 more, maybe. Might be a good idea.
Yeah. think 6 of them running around would be okay.
Yes.
So it's been a bit of a bloodbath so far, actually. That Dwarf Warriors unit has been killed, and quite a lot of Stormcast are dead, but the Giant is untouched at the moment, so we'll see what he can do. Right, the Stormcast are going to attack now with the Liberators. There's only 2 of them. So one of them trying to kill off the Slayer once and for all. Take that final wound off him. 4 plus 3 plus.
See if he gets away.
1 wound, and he's got a 6 plus butt cheek save.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, no,
sad day.
He's going to get his death blow, though.
Oh, he gets that. That's true. That's actually really useful right now.
It's not a monster, so he just has a normal death blow. On a roll of a 4 plus, then he'll do D3 mortal wounds to the enemy. So on the roll of a 4 plus, so D3 mortal wounds to the enemy. 2, so he kills the guy that killed him.
Amazing.
So he's dead, and the Slayer's dead.
He went down in a good Slayer manner, as Slayers should do.
He did. And then we've got the other Liberator attacking Belagar. 4 plus 3 plus. Nope, no wounds done. So it's time for Belagar to attack then, there's no one else. So he has 4 attacks. And he is 3 plus 3 plus. All hit. 3 wounds get through. So with the rend of -1, the Liberator is down to 5 plus save. So he makes 1. So he's going to be dead automatically, and these do D3 wounds. So he's super dead.
He is super dead, yeah.
Double dead. So all the Liberators are dead, all the Retributors are dead as well. Right.
Very nice.
So, Battle Shock phase. The Judicators need to take 1. If they get a 6, 1 more will run away because they're out of range of the big boss. So they're fine.
Right.
And nobody else because everyone just died. So
yeah.
Okay, the Stormcast have got a bit of an uphill task now, I think.
Pretty much.
The Giant, does he want to eat Belagar or does he want to just eat the Hammerers?
You will get hammered one way or the other, but he could soften the hammer blow a bit if he kills a few of them.
And what I'm thinking with the Judicators, because they have a longer range than all the Iron Drakes, they should move away.
Yeah, they should be sneaky like that.
So I'm thinking if they just move backwards a bit, like so, they should still be in range, and then they can just shoot from there.
Yeah, and all the War Machine players are all going now like, that's why we have that zone that gets smaller every turn, so people don't do that.
I'm sure no War Machine players watch this.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
think War Machine players and Age of Sigmar players, if there was a spectrum of wargamers, they would be at opposite ends.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, this guy can't really move because he would be moving within 3 inches of an enemy unit, so he's only going to be able to charge. So let's just do the Stormcast shooting first. So we've got the 2 regular bows. We're going to fire at the Iron Drakes. So the first 2, I'll just crack open the old Age of Sigmar app on my phone again.
Right.
And there they are. So they are 3 plus and 3 plus. 1 hit. Nope. And the shockbow bolt is 2 plus and 3 plus. So that hits, which means that it does D6 wounds. So
it does D6? Holy crap.
3. So then 3 plus on these. So 2 wounds on the Iron Drakes with a rend of -1. And the Iron Drakes have a save of 4 plus, so it's down to 5. So 2 dead Iron Drakes. So get rid of those 2, not very important ones.
They're slowly.
I know that was the troll hammer. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Okay, so they're going to need a battle shock test in a minute. Now the charge, I think the Giant is going to charge the Hammerers.
Yeah.
I think, because he wants to eat them for dinner. So,
I think he should only fail on a 2, or not even.
Yeah, so he didn't fail.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where it's going to get fun. I'm going to go over to the giant war scroll now, because he's got quite a complicated series of attacks. So, here we go. First of all, he has his massive club. So that does, because he's not wounded yet, that does 3d6 attacks. So let's see how many it's going to be. Also, he's going to put the -1 to hit on the hammerers, obviously, because he's going to be fighting them. So he's shone the shining light Sigmar via his nipple down onto the hammerers. So this is how many attacks he's going to have with his massive club, which is actually a massive sword.
Right.
So that's going to be 10.
Yeah, that's quite nice. I normally roll quite well with the club when I use my giant.
Giants, they are known for their clubbing, but of course this isn't a club, it's a sword, a holy Sigmarite sword.
Yes.
So that's going to be 10 attacks, and the massive club hits on a 3, wounds on a 3.
Yeah, looks good.
That's a lot. It has -1 rend. So let's see how many are going to die. Because the hammerers have a save of 4+, so it's going to be 5+. So 3 of them are going to die from that. So I'll just leave those there for that.
Right. You could check if he stuffed someone in his pants.
Oh,
Does he
yes,
have
there is
that
that as
rule?
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. It's not stuffing them into his pants, though, because this is Sigmar, so he's stuffing them into his heavenly satchel. So if he rolls above how many wounds they have, if it's double the enemy's wounds, so if he gets 2+, then one of them is in his pants.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so that's
There
going
we
to be
go.
one dead. He's got they're in his heavenly satchel, though, not in his pants, because Sigmar wouldn't condone such behaviour.
Yeah, he's going towards the light at the end of the tunnel now.
Yes. There's a tunnel, but there isn't too much light in there.
Yeah.
The sun does not shine in that area.
No.
Okay, the Headbutt has 1 attack. It's 4+, 3+. Doesn't hit. Then we've got I suppose that was a Headbutt. He's got a head that looks suitable for butting. Then the Mighty Kick. So that's also 1 attack, 3+, 3+. And that misses as well.
I always miss that with my giant too. It's weird.
Yep. So he did manage to kill 4 hammerers, though.
Yeah, that's all right.
So let's just get rid of them. They're not very important ones. And then they are going to be going back in on him now, of course. So round they go. They don't fall over.
You just want to hit him with this banner.
So they still have that ability on them, so they're going to be getting lots of attacks still.
Yes.
So there are 6 of them left. So there's 6. There are 6 more. There are 6 more. And there's the extra attack for the Keeper of the Gate. So, a lot of attacks again, even though 4 of them are corpsulating. That is an actual word now.
Right.
So, 3+, 3+. That's a lot.
That is a lot, indeed.
3+ again.
3+ again. Still a lot.
Oh my goodness.
A lot.
So -1 rend, the giant is down to a 5+ save.
Oh man. They're hammering his ankles right now.
They are. This could be the ultimate ankle hacking.
He got a hammer toe now.
Okay, so the giant loses 4, 6, 10, 12 wounds.
Holy crap. He has 15, right?
He has 12, so he's dead.
Oh crap. Wow. Instant kills, insta-kills.
But I'm going to look, because I think when he dies, he might fall.
He can fall over, yeah. Maybe he squishes like 1 or 2 guys.
When he's slain, both players roll a dice. Whoever rolls highest decides in which direction the giant falls.
All right.
Place the giant on its side in the direction in which it falls. The unit it lands on suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Huh. I always just use a scatter die for some reason, because I guess I never read his war scroll correctly.
So I'll roll for the Stormcast first. 5 and the Dwarves. 3. Okay, so he's going to choose to just fall
Straight
on
up.
top of the hammerers. Does D3 mortal wounds, 1.
Wow. That, well, that wasn't a big price to pay to get that guy down, so holy crap.
Okay, so those hammerers are dead. Not a very big price to pay. And
Yeah.
the Iron Drakes need a battle shock test now. They've got bravery 7, they've lost 2 guys. So they're fine. Those dead ones go away.
Right.
Okay. And I think it's turn 4.
It is turn 4.
So
And-
there's not much left. This was slightly more in the dwarves' favour than I expected.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, at this point, wouldn't what's it called? Like kill the general actually be a thing? No, that it's only at the beginning of the game. It's said that it's actually a scenario thing.
Yes, that would only be if we were doing that rule.
Yeah. Also, in that case, the giant just died, who was the general, so we would know. Yeah, no. Ignore
I think if there was an assassinate, it would have been in favour of the Stormcast anyway, because they had less models.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed. That's
yeah, I'm thinking that giant, when he's got the spirit of Sigmar flowing through him and he's made of solid gold and Sigmarite, then I think he actually needs better rules than that.
Yeah. I think like looking through a few other war scrolls of a bit more impressive characters might be a better idea than just choosing the giants. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe if you just use the rules for Arcane and just where it has all the different chaos rules, then I'll just put something like Holy and Sigmar like in there instead.
Right. That
of the
could
wording
actually
of the
work.
rule.
Yeah.
Maybe not Arcane.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we'll come up with something. So let's see who's going to go first in turn 4 then, because it's so crucial at this stage. So
it totally is.
Stormcast, 2, Dwarves, 5.
There we
Right. Who do you want the organ gun to shoot at?
go. Yeah, I think at this point it's like,
Yes, I think it's pretty much over now.
yeah, if there's only one target to choose, we could roll it out just for funsies. Maybe the bow guys get lucky and like kill Belaga and just, I don't know.
Let's go with the audience generally say 3, so let's just fire 3 organ gun barrels.
Pezapu actually said 2, but you just made it, so that's alright.
Yeah, so Pezapu, you were ignored, unfortunately. So 3 barrels at them. Wow. Okay, that's a lot.
That
That's
is
going
a
to be
lot.
13.
Let's see if they survive that.
13 shots. So that's going to be 3 plus 3 plus. Okay. They might make it.
They might.
If they fail all their saves, then they'll be dead. So that's got a rend of -1, so they're going to have their 5 plus save.
Right.
And they only failed 2 of them. So only one of them dies.
They still have a chance.
Yeah, so I don't really think they need to do it, though.
No.
Actually, you know what? I think they can just take a shot at Belagar, see if they can kill him in one go with the shockbow bolt.
Yes. Let's do that. That's fun.
So
A
here we
bit of
go.
luck
So
there.
the non-shock bow, 3s and 3s. So it hits, it wounds, and then he's got his save of 3 plus, which is down to 4. So he makes it.
Yep.
And the shock bow bolt, which can't actually kill him because you halve wounds that Belagar takes. So it could wound him though. So here we go. Hit on a 2, hits. How many wounds is it going to do? 2. 1 gets through and a save, which he makes.
Right. I think
Okay.
you would only have saved against that 1 hit and then just applied the wounds instead of saving against the 2 wounds. Because the wounds...
no, it's different for the shockbow bolt because
I see.
when you roll to hit, you just then roll to see how many wound rolls you make. It's not actually how many wounds you get.
Oh, I see.
So it's special. So on on reflection, I think bowing to public opinion and throwing in Belagar was a bit much in that game.
Yeah,
Because he was giving those hammerers all those extra attacks did come in quite handy.
Yeah, without Belagar, this might have been a bit closer, like a lot. Because the giant was just thrown into the blender of hammers.
Yeah, and when that dwarf unit was killed off instantly, I thought, okay, this is going to be horribly one-sided for the Stormcast. But then it was crucial that the dwarves got those 2 turns in a row. Because if the Stormcast had been able to charge on their terms, like with the giant and the retributors, maybe into the hammerers and then deciding who to attack with first, that could have been good.
Indeed.
But unfortunately, that's not how it went. So the game did kind of swing on that, definitely. And then once a few of the Stormcast started dying, they didn't have a whole lot of bodies to soak up those casualties.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think it was quite the nice, quick, fun game, like no matter what. And I think we have learned a bit about just hangout games again and what to pit against each other, I guess.
Yeah, we learned some valuable lessons, I think, there. And if anyone's wondering what I'm adding to the Stormcast next, then I've got some prosecutors, or prosecutors, as the Americans like to say, which are on the waiting to be sprayed area, along with the Knight Zeros and the Knight Venator.
Right.
So a lot of flying dudes. So that's going to help out their cause a bit, and I should probably get the other 3 Retributors assembled, because they need more numbers there, even though they have 3 wounds each. The Liberators, I think that's a decent number for a unit, but having 2 units of them would be nice as well. And I'm probably going to convert a unit of Liberators into the Judicators with the crossbows, if I can. I'm going to look into how easy that's going to be with some hacking of arms. It should be possible though, because all the parts are pretty much interchangeable in the units. And the giant needs some new rules.
Yeah, that's true. He needs a bit of a makeover, just to reflect his goldenness, his shininess a bit more.
He does.
His impressiveness.
What have the audience had to say about all this?
Let's see. Was a good game. It was fun. Everyone seems to have enjoyed it and had a good time. Pezapoo is still salty about the 2 barrel thing, but next time maybe. No, everyone seems to have had a good time. Oop, I just closed the comments. No, I didn't. Just minimize them. No, I think that there's no special comments sticking out right now. Pretty much everyone just seems to have enjoyed themselves. Orcs or something interesting next time. Matthias Madsen says. Well, yeah, like a monster race is obviously like mostly more of it makes for a better villain, I think, than the dwarfs and the Sigmarites, because they are both like classic good guys, I think. I can see that point.
The bad guys I have, which are undead, and I've developed a phobia of using undead in Age of Sigmar now, because it takes so long to move all those hundreds of skeletons and zombies around.
It does, yeah. Miniatures are sadly a limitation in that regard, unless someone actually comes by Andy's place and brings an army and is willing to play on a live show.
Yeah,
but
or somebody
they would. Yeah.
If somebody wants to send me 3,000 points of orcs fully painted, then I will happily accept them.
Right.
As long as they're not goblins or normal orc boys, because I don't want to move that many models around either.
It is 500 night goblins.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. When it comes to the piling in, that's not a combat phase that I'm going to relish.
I only had 125 night goblins before I sold them, and then before I got new ones.
Yeah. And now, while the audience is still here, before they start leaving because the game's over, I should tell them that the Andy and Rem show and this channel in general is up for numerous awards in the Warhammer YouTuber end of year awards, which is linked in the video description, which is on SurveyMonkey, I believe, run by Mr. Vince Venturella. And I think this show is up in 3 or 4 of the categories. So I would, of course, encourage everyone to go over there and vote.
Yes.
Just to get me a few trophies. That would be nice. And I might share them with Rem as well at some point if he's nice.
Yeah, and if you want to see the nonsense that I put on my channel, go to Dready Gaming. Check it out.
Yeah, you did just put up your Christmas special, didn't you?
It is. It is a high-quality production with immensely high-quality special effects that I put a lot of time and effort in.
Yeah, it's quite riveting right to the end as well.
Yeah, The Lord of the Rings has nothing on my tiny movies.
Very, very high quality indeed. Also, to remind everyone again, this luxurious temple-ish game mat. I think I just invented the word temple-ish as well. This game mat from gamemats.eu. Very, very tasty indeed. And I think I'm going to do a full review on it because I'm going to be doing a little video series on my attempt to get a set of terrain suitable for Age of Sigmar. But I'll tell you now, the one thing I like about this mat, because I played a game on another battle mat that somebody brought round for 40k a while ago, and it was a rollout one, but the corners kind of curled up because it's more like just thick card or paper kind of.
Right, yeah.
So you have to kind of blue tack it down to the table to make it stay there.
Oh.
But with this one, this is like a big mouse mat, so it just folds out and it's heavy enough. It's like the Dead Zone.
Yeah, or the big Dread Ball multi-pitch, pretty much.
Yeah, it's that kind of material. So that's the kind of battle mat that I like, because the corners aren't going to turn up, and it's very durable. And as you can see, it's a lovely soft dice rolling noise, which is what I like.
Emperor Gaming UK asks, where are you based?
I am based in Manchester.
There we go. And
Mr. Remington is based in Leicester. So we cover a fair bit of the country between us. So anyone who's all the way down south is too far away from both of us, really, then. And also anyone in Scotland probably is too far away.
Yeah, unless I want to make the trip. But I think Rem also would be happy to play more games with people.
Yeah, I think Rem will be happy. If you live in, like, Uganda and you want to challenge Rem to a game, he'll probably fly over there. Because he does get the urge. And he's a worldwide traveller with his touring. I don't think he's not on tour this week, but he is doing something in another country.
Emperor Gaming is in Worksop. I don't know where that is.
I'm not actually 100% sure where that is either.
I've heard it before, but I have no idea.
Also, a little note of interest here. As you know, Remington and I were at Warhammer World a few weeks ago. And I was on Twitter today, and I saw that someone had retweeted a tweet from a famous professional wrestler by the name of Samoa Joe. And apparently he was hanging out at Warhammer World this week because the wrestling people were over in England, and he must be a Games Workshop fan, which is something I didn't know. So any wrestling fans out there, you might find that an interesting tidbit of information.
That's funny, actually. Emperor Gaming says 15 minutes south of Doncaster. I don't know where Doncaster is too. I'm German.
I suppose it's not a million miles from Manchester. It could be closer, but...
Right, but I think you can always contact Andy over Facebook or something, and...
Yes, you can certainly send me private messages on the YouTubes as well. I do remember to check them now. Because I did actually miss out on getting some miniatures from somebody, because someone sent me a message saying, hey, I would like to send you some miniatures. Please, please give me your address. And then because it's YouTube messages where they just don't notify you about them, I found it like 3 months later.
Yeah,
that's too late.
That's a really silly change that they did that. That's why I never check my YouTube messages. If anyone ever has sent me YouTube messages and I haven't replied, it's because I don't see them. If you want to contact me over Dready Gaming on Facebook. That's how you get to me.
So, folks, don't forget to tune in to the Christmas special next week, which is going to be very festive. Everyone's going to be dressed up in all Christmassy attire. There's going to be tinsel and baubles everywhere, and beards and Santa hats and so on. There's going to be wargaming-themed Christmas carols. There's going to be wargaming-themed Christmas tales. People are going to be talking about their favourite ever Christmas presents, wargaming related, and other amusing things like that. It's going to be quite wonderful and quite festive. It's going to be
fancy.
very, very jingly. You're going to hear sleigh bells above your house while you're watching it.
All right.
It'll be like a mince pie that doesn't taste terrible.
I have never eaten one, so
I don't like mince pies.
I don't even know what I have no idea what they are, so I don't think I've eaten them ever.
It's like minced like fruit.
Right.
And it's really weird. And I don't know why. I just have apple pies instead because they're tastier.
I'm allergic to apples, so I like cheesecake and carrot cake.
How can someone be allergic to apple?
I'm allergic to all the fruits ever. Like I can't eat them. It's not possible. I can eat bananas and like mandarins and stuff, but and oranges.
Banana, the foulest of all the fruits.
Yes, they have spiders in them. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, when the spiders just burst out. I'm sure that's never traumatized anybody.
There's that video on YouTube. Never look it up if you like bananas.
Yeah, if you don't, then do look it up because it'll just reassure you that you're correct in your dislike of bananas.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're coming to the end of the show now since the battle is over. It was a victory for the Duardin. They're going to be able to just loot this temple now, strip all the Sigmarite from all the statues, and Sigmar is just going to be very depressed, I think, because his forces did not perform well at all.
Such a sad day.
Even though he personally sent down his spirit in the form of a giant statue.
Yeah, but he forgot to give it like the proper rules with it, so it was just a giant.
Yeah, he didn't send down all of his powers. He only sent down a few. He was trying to make it fair, you see. Yeah, maybe if it was some terrible creatures invading, you would have been happy to just make it completely unfair against them and completely stack the odds because they're so evil they deserve it. But maybe because they're the Duardin fellow forces of order, he felt bad for them.
Yeah, he didn't want to give them a complete whooping, just gives them a bit of a scare, maybe. Something. Make them work for what they get. Maybe test them even, like to test them if they are worthy to like follow his course. Maybe it was something like that. Maybe the whole temple setup was just all a big test for the Duardin.
Yeah, that is possible. No, I've just had a look at the comments there, and the pronunciation of Duardin. Yeah, you've got to pronounce the R in the Duardin. YouTube newbie says carrot cake is awesome.
It is.
I don't think so. And audience, if you would like to suggest anyone that we should get on for the Christmas special, we're going to have a lot of guests that are just going to pop in for a few minutes and then take off again after wishing everyone festive greetings and so on.
I think you should have John Cena on the show.
I don't. If we could get him on the show, I would do it because it would drive ratings through the roof.
Yeah, which army would you play though?
He would definitely be Stormcast. Definitely. Okay, folks. So remember, when the video is over, remember to refresh the page and leave permanent comments in there praising the show, telling us how wonderful it was and how exciting the game was right to the end. You didn't know which way it was going to go, went right down to the wire, you were on the edge of your seat, you'd bitten all your fingernails off, your teeth had been chattering away, and you're going to have to see the dentist tomorrow to have caps put on them all because they've been worn down by the excitement. You've gone through about 8 pairs of underwear from all the bodily fluids that couldn't stay in your body because of the tremendous level of excitement and tremendous damage that was dealt out by the dwarves mostly, the hammerers in particular.
Right.
And also, don't forget to like the video.
Yep.
That's the most important thing.
Thanks for your participation. Has been quite orderly this time. I'm quite proud of our crowd.
Yeah, we didn't have anyone spamming away in there, despite the presence of Pezapoo. So,
Yeah.
on that note, I think all that remains to be done is maybe a little bit of Christmas festive whistling. I don't know if Dready wants to do any.
My voice is actually a bit wrecked, so it won't be nice.
Well, which one should I do?
Christmas Tree is a classic.
I suppose. Yeah, I'll go with that, and I might just get it all wrong, but we'll give it a try. But it's not in my usual rotation of Christmas songs that I whistle around the house, so I might mess it up. So, audience, it's been a wonderful experience for everyone involved, I'm sure. And of course, we should thank Dready for keeping you all in line and relaying your messages onto the battlefield.
It was my pleasure. See you all next time or on my
And
channel.
I'll switch the camera over to you a second so you can wave to them properly. There you go. And then back to the battlefield for some festive whistling to close the show.